Welcome. We are talking about art, life, motivation, all the things. I'm so excited with my special guest here. Artist who started it all, you guys. It really did start with her. If you're interested in art, hi. We have a great story to tell, a great artist that I can't wait for you guys to hear more from, and just greatness. Oh my goodness. Okay. My name is Naomi Nunes. Oh, I'm shy. I'm shy, but I could care less because I really love art and trying to keep people motivated. And key here is just motivating me through art, like this piece right here. We actually met in like 2017 because
Mhm.
I caught this like photo and I couldn't like mentally let it go in my mind. And I was like, who is this? Like, I need this in my life, and it's been in my life. She's been in my life. She's awesome. Oh my goodness. And she has tons of artwork that she can talk more about, show us, maybe do a demo later too. This piece, we can do it. I've actually did one video about it, but other pieces of work were from her. Like, you guys, it was from her. Yeah, would you like to talk about this piece or any other piece? Introduce yourself too. Like, let us know.
Yeah. Yeah, so my name is Kieta Ford, but you can call me Key for short. Because people always jack up my name, especially like the way it's spelled. But yeah, I'm Key, and I feel like I've been an artist for like a very long time. But yeah, I'm trying to remember, like that piece was one of my very few that I've actually started um what would you say, like actually figuring out painting, because I had never really been like a big painter. So that piece kind of reminded me of, I think I was going through something like, oh, I don't think I can really do art or really like paint. So I kind of created that to kind of like help me get through that. And I was like, I want to make, her to be black as in representing me. And then, the power fist. So yeah, that's kind of like the background from that. I grew up in the South.
Oh,
Yeah, I grew up in the South. So I was originally born in California, and then my mom moved us to Texas, and then I went to school in Louisiana to like high school. Yeah, to like high school. So I have a very southern kind of mentality and hospitality kind of thing. And it was so weird coming back to California, um, because a lot of people in California are not very friendly. It's like in the South, if you see someone, they want to say hi to you, and then that's good. But when I came here, especially to San Francisco, I would say hi, and they would look at me like, "What do you want?" And I'm like, "I just wanted to say hi." So yeah.
and so when did you start like getting into art? Like, was it when you were in high school back east? Was it when you were like young, first in Cali, SoCal?
Yeah, when I can remember myself drawing Sailor Moon at age 5.
Ah,
I don't know if anyone knows that, but hopefully everyone knows Sailor Moon, right? But I remember watching the cartoon on TV, and I was like, oh, I want to draw that. So yeah, art has been very important and prevalent in my life. And then my dad also draws too, so he would always like create things for me for like birthdays and stuff like that. So I would say I got my talent from him. Yeah, even though he doesn't draw anymore or paint or anything, he
oh,
doesn't do anything. It's kind of sad because it's like if you don't continue like your skill or whatever you do, you kind of lose it. It's like really sad.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, from then I was just interested in art. Like I used to just draw all the time. Like all my friends would be like, "You can you draw me this or can you draw me that?" I'm like, "Okay, why not?" Yeah, all through high school, went through like all 4 years of art class. That's where I was introduced more of like painting, oil, chalk pastel, all the things you go through high school if you take those classes. And then I went to a after I graduated, I went to my first school, which was like getting my AA in this like little small like it's not a community college, but it was like a technical college. So I got an AA there. And then I was planning to go to Florida because at a very young age, I knew what I wanted to do. I wanted to be an animator. And so I actually went to school for animation, but something happened where my mom kind of convinced me, like, don't go to Florida. It's so far away. And I'm like, okay, but you live in California. So I don't know how that's, you know, anyway. So she convinced me to come to California. And then next thing I know, I was going to school in San Francisco for an animator. And then I graduated and I kind of worked in a little bit of the field. And then just like life happened.
The field of animation or just like being an artist and all that stuff?
I didn't really do much of animation, but I did do more field work. Like I did work for creating art for like cell phones. So
Oh,
like the cell phone games, you know how like you have the little backgrounds and stuff. So I did a couple of things like that. I did a couple of freelances, and as my life was moving on, like I got married, had a family, and then I started thinking like, oh, I have more time to like create things. So I started creating things on my own, with painting because I just started painting maybe 4 or 5 years ago. So like that was the first year of the painting behind you. That was like literally my
oh
first
right.
painting. So
The OG,
yeah,
right. Hey, I'm
yeah, you have a lot of originals.
vintage. I'm a vintage baby. I don't know if you
Yeah.
know, I appreciate vintage. It's just quality stuff. Quality. What's your favorite piece then? Like what did you really enjoy like the most making, or each work of art is like its own journey?
I don't know. That's a great question. That's my favorite piece I've ever made.
Mm.
You got me thinking now. I
Oh,
don't know. Hmm. Can I come back to that one? I really have to
for
think
sure.
of that one.
Totally, totally. Are you working on anything right now?
Yeah, I am. I currently I feel like I dabble through a lot of different things. Like, one day I want to paint, one day I want to do markers, one day I want to like just draw, one I want just inking, and it's kind of like, pick one and then focus. But yeah, like I got into something called gouache, which is like a mixture of acrylic paint and watercolor.
Okay.
So it kind of works like watercolor, but then like it dries more of like acrylic paint. And I do have one piece that I'm working on. It's this one.
Whoa. Oh, it is beautiful.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh,
I'm still kind of like, oh, I need to make it a little bit better, but I'm learning. So it's just something I picked up that I was like, oh, I want to learn gouache because I really do like the matte finish that it has and things like that. But it's a tricky medium to kind of like figure out. And I would say like the hardest thing of being a black artist is there's not a lot of tutorials or videos like explaining how to like draw black features or how to paint black skin or anything like that, or even do hair, even though they are there, don't get me wrong, they are there. But like if I wanted to look up something like how to paint someone's skin, it's kind of like I have to really dig into like YouTube to like really find something. And I've heard that from other people that I've talked to who are artists as well. They're like, yeah, there's just nothing out there that, so like along my journey, I'm learning to like pick up things, figure out how to do it. Like, okay, I know how to draw a nose, but then like how do you draw a black nose? Because like our noses are kind of bigger than most people, or our lips are bigger than most people. So I just found that like very interesting. So it was a lot of like trials and error when it comes to like creating black art, if that makes sense.
oh, it does. 100%.
Yeah.
I think even with this is completely a random fun fact, but I think with Google they have like this new phone that they've tailored specifically for photos that help lighten because darker tones require different lighting. So
What?
like this is well overdue and also very much appreciated.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
pictures, I can only imagine when you have to physically like mix colors and like get the right hue, and then hopefully it doesn't like clash with other aspects of what you're working on.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't know that. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, that was one. I think it was like Super Bowl, like when it had all those commercials. I was like, okay, this one stuck. This one had meaning.
Yeah.
It done well with those 30 seconds.
Okay.
Okay, this is also kind of random. Speaking of Super Bowl, like what was your kind of thought? Like, how did you feel about the artistry? That's a whole other world of like music and stuff. But like, what was,
With the Super Bowl?
yeah, were you able to watch it?
No, I wasn't.
Yeah, I just watched the halftime and I was like, wow.
Okay. Yeah.
Back to our lovely art and motivation aspect of it. So you've spoken of the different trials and tribulations, like when you've done artwork and different things like that. So was
Hmm.
talking to other people its own motivator? Because sometimes it can feel like very lonely and anything in life, and like it's great to have a community. So it sounds like we're able to build a community, because I can tell from these art pieces, like I feel the community.
Oh, that's so funny. It's interesting that you say that because I've heard this quote from another artist saying that artist is a very like lonely, like there's a very lonely, like not that we tend to want to be alone, but like we don't venture out. We're kind of like shy and shut like together. Like we're so focused on our art that we're not really branching out or being socialized or socializing and stuff like that. I would say yes, I have gone out and met a lot more people that are like-minded, right? I have met other people where they also do black art, and it's really encouraging because no one, their art style is not exactly like mine, but I really can still appreciate it. I mean, it's cool to know that someone else is doing black art because my main focus was to make black art that is very positive, right? And and
Yes.
as and as you know, like especially like a couple years ago, like even though it's starting a little change now, we weren't really represented in a lot of things, right?
Yeah.
So it's good to see like if I did like a bunch of like little kid paintings, like the princess Disney princesses, um like any of the comic books like Spider-Man and stuff like that. Like it's good to show like younger kids like, oh yeah, you can see yourself in this Disney princess kind of like movie or story, and then relate to it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to bring that out, and I also was really surprised when I would go out to different events and sell my art that I'm meeting a lot of like younger kids that are coming up to me and they're like, wow, you draw this? And I'm like, yeah. They're like, that's so crazy. And I'm like, oh, are you an artist? And they're like, yeah, I'm an artist. I'm like, oh, okay, like if you're a real artist, let me see you sketch, like draw something. So they would draw something for me. But it was really fun seeing those like black kids because it doesn't seem like they have an avenue to like find a place or find the guidance um to venture out to be like, okay, it's cool, like don't get me wrong, like people draw anime all the time, people draw like furries, wherever they want to draw, but it's kind of like I got to the point where I was drawing like other races than black, and I was like, why am I not drawing like something that reflects me? That's really weird. Like in my mind I'm like, have I been conditioned to like just draw this and then not even think about creating art that's representing me? Like, does that make sense?
Oh, it does. It does. Like you're
You
like,
know?
is that something even like in your kind of you're talking about from like schooling in addition to after schooling?
Yeah, yeah. I'm also an art teacher for homeschool kids.
Oh,
So this month I wanted to focus on art history, but with focusing more on the Black art history. And as I was like, I knew like certain things like the Harlem Renaissance, but I didn't know how in depth it was and how important their art stood at the time. And I was thinking like, why was this not in my art class? Like this is important. And like, you get the normal like black, like what is it? Like Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks. But I'm just like, well, but there's so much art history, that why didn't we pick this particular one? And I went through an art history class in college. So I'm just kind of like, we never touched any kind of like African theme or anything like that. It was really weird.
it's interesting. It's like easier to not, but it's commonly done. So the fact
Mhm.
did some of your own, like, you really, when it comes to that, you have to do your own homework, unfortunately, and
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
find, like I honestly still learn new things about different aspects of history, whether it's in art or fashion or just traveling. And I'm just like, whoa, what? Yeah, and it's great because you're dealing with young kids, so it's like looking to the future, like what are we
Yeah.
doing in the future, and like you being an art teacher for young kids, like you're literally talking to the future. Like, oh my god.
Yeah.
And then art projects based on like the topic that you're doing.
Mhm. Mhm.
Aww. What's
Yeah.
the one you've seen so far? Like, do you see any aspiring artists?
What, as with the kids?
Yeah.
Um.
Like, do you encourage it? Like, let them know, like, hey, because I've noticed, like, even going through college and post grad personally, like, you expect, like, oh, 4 years, I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to continue on. But
Yeah.
more to it than that. Like, you can pursue your passions and make a career of what's truly interested in you. And it can vary from like what's expected, like the non-traditional ones. But I'm seeing
Yeah.
people making business selling thrifting clothes that they really like and all this other stuff, like businesses just encouraging other people. And like if you don't know that as a kid, you think, oh, the only successful thing is a doctor or whatever. Like you
Yeah.
don't try to do what your heart really wants. And that's really
Yeah. Yeah. No, I hear you. No, that's that you on one right there. No, that's so true. It's very true. I was watching this a live stream of a panel of Black creators in like animation and in film and things like that. And there's this one man. He talked about how, oh, I should know people's name. I'm so bad at this,
I
but he said when he found out that you can make a living, like you can get paid for doing art, he's just like, I'm sold. This is what I want to do. And I was just like, that is so smart.
That's a move.
Like once you find out your little, I think you were talking about your little niche or
Niche, yeah.
niche, thank you. That you can get paid for it, you know,
Those are
like
goals. That's everyone's dream. Like, can I just work and not feel like I'm working and then still make money?
yeah, yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. What are you looking to do in the future based on your current passions? Because I know, and like, not this particular conversation, you talked about like animation. That's like a heart, a dream. Like, let's put it out there now. 2022. Like, what do you do? Tell us all.
I know. Well, I know I want for sure to figure out how to sell online.
Mm,
I think that that would be a very reachable goal
mm-hmm.
for me right now. And then what else? And then how to like kind of branch out and find new people or new clients. And then I guess like lastly would be the maybe apply for an animation studio, like maybe intern.
Yes.
I have time, you know, because everything seems like it's becoming remote. You
Yeah.
know, like jobs are like, yeah, you can just stay there and just send us your stuff. You know,
Mm-hmm.
um, so that I mean, I guess that's a plus. You know, being like a stay-at-home mom and then working on the side teaching kids. Like sometimes I don't have time to like go and be at a job
Mm.
like for hours, but that I would like to do that. Or even doing my own thing, maybe finding someone because I love telling stories, right?
Yes.
That's
Oh,
really
for sure.
I know because you're a writer, right? Um, I love telling stories, and I think that's really why I liked animation when I was a kid. But once I got into it and understood, like, it's really about the storytelling and like animators or actors themselves, like, you have to draw this person acting out whatever is going on. And I was like, oh, I really like that. And so I would love to find like powerful stories because animation or in art, there's no limit, you know, like in film or yeah like in film you kind of can't do everything even though we're adding like the 3D or the green screen or the 3D effects and stuff like that, but in animation you could just draw everything and you can think of anything and you can create it, well as long as you can create it, right? And
Right.
I think I like that limitless possibilities that you can create. and I just really love stories.
Oh my gosh.
I love yeah, I love funny stories. I love I just love any kind of story. I will sit and just listen to stories all the time. And I really want to create something that's like more moving to a person. Like if I can convey what I feel into my art when you watch it or when you look at it, that would be like the greatest thing ever.
Oh you like honestly like this is kind of like a great like medium because with Instagram and like TikTok and YouTube there's so many different ways that you can express yourself and use like those tools to expand on whatever story you want to tell. Like if, for instance, like I love fashion, I love food, I love thing, but at the basis of it, it's like I want to tell you a story and I also want to convey my ulterior motive. Like there's good and positivity in yourself that you can just express whether you're sad or happy. And like with your art, like every time some pieces, I'm just like, yep, that one. I see it. I felt that like this, I'm telling you, like I saw this work of art that you have, and it was during a time where I was like halfway through school, and I was just, it was hard. Like it's gotten harder. Like 2017, Naomi did not know what she was coming into. Like, but like every time I wake up and I see this painting, I'm just like, oh, I felt that. Like, it's great.
Oh,
And
that's awesome.
I all of them. I'm telling you, this one, this when
Mhm.
compared to today's lovely story,
Yeah.
still don't know how to make those characters into skits yet, but like living in color, like girl. And then the special one that no one will see outside of this, but like
Yay!
girl,
Oh yeah.
I'm just like, she really did that for me. It was for
Yes, yes. Because I was like, I felt like I was so late. I was like, oh, she graduated. Oh my god.
no. It was a journey. It was a whole like timeline journey. It was all the things
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think we all need in our lives, even though it's not always prioritized, but it's like really cool to have.
Mhm.
So like thank you for you may feel like, oh man, I don't know, but like let this serve as a reminder how important it is
Okay.
to share whatever you have in your heart, which is what
Mhm.
we're doing today and each every day we have something that we share. Like, oh, taking a moment. It's like yeah, yeah. I love it. But thanks for sharing your journey. And did you ever figure out which one was your favorite piece? Ah! Like I'm
Um,
all equally. It's okay. I'm Elmo. I can't choose anyway.
I know. Okay, I think I have two. I don't have a picture of it though. Hold on, wait.
Oh,
I don't have a picture of. Okay, so you remember it's on my Instagram, but it was the one that you were interested. That was like the black light one,
huh?
and it was the boy, um, and it was like neon colors.
Look up her page and then you'll see all
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
the work that she can do. Is there anything, any tips and tricks you'd like to share for anyone who's like interested in venturing in the art world or like might feel discouraged or like something you want to show us potentially or any work you want to share that you might be selling? That's another thing. Like,
Okay, okay. I don't know. I think what I would say to maybe because everyone's encouragement is different, you
true.
know. So like how you encourage me is amazing. I don't know if I could ever do that, but I'm a very more maybe more practical. So like if you have an issue, I'll be like, hey girl, like this is what we got to do, figure it out, kind of thing. So I'm more kind of like, hey. So I think when it comes to art, well, I would say one thing that had helped me was I can get stuck on looking at other people who I admire and think like, oh, they're so much better than me. My stuff is just not great. I'm just not that good yet. Like I've been doing this for years and this is where I'm at, kind of thing, you know?
Ooh,
And so
girl,
like the comparing, right? Like
yeah,
don't compare. But
queen.
like our minds, exactly. But our minds naturally can kind of always compare like anything that you look at, right? Like especially on social media.
Yeah.
But I've learned that instead of comparing yourself to others, compare yourself to your old work.
Ooh,
So
okay.
yeah, yeah. It's like if you have progressed from when you started to now, or a year ago, or 5 months ago, or even a week ago, then you are progressing, right? So like compare yourself to yourself, not to others. I would always like add that there. And just if you don't know something, don't try to fake it. Try like get some help.
And say it over time. Say it over time. The person in the back.
I know, right? Don't fake it. Get some help. Like there's so many trials and errors that I've done that I feel like I could have like gotten better if I either went to a class, took a class, looked on YouTube. Um, just like there's so much opportunity to like learn things now, and there's so much access to things. I mean, it's 2022. We have so much access to everything, right? So like go out, even when it comes to business wise, go out and get like information about how to run a business, how to, I don't know, like for me, creative wise, like how to draw certain things, or because when I started trying to learn a new painting or a medium, I'm just like, I'm just gonna figure this out by myself. And then you're like, oh, I wasted all that paint, and then I wasted all that like material, and then I haven't got a piece that I like, you know? Um, yeah, I would say for sure try to do some research beforehand
Yeah.
or try to understand it.
Add, let's soak in and then maybe act. Because sometimes I'm not gonna lie, I'm that person. It's like if it's past like 30 minutes, I'll try to do like 2 hours. Like no, after 30 minutes, like clearly, like let's soak in, or then like ask, because there's like also the way you don't want to ask, keep asking, and then it's not even you're not even letting it.
Interesting. Yeah, yeah, I hear you. Uh-huh.
That's it.
That's really
I've
interesting.
learned.
Oh, really?
Yeah, for all the techies out there. See you. Yeah. As like a few kind of closing things, is there some work you'd like to let people know that's out there, or do like?
Yeah. Actually, no, I have some. I haven't put these on my social,
Ooh,
but
this is.
there
Oh,
you go.
is that
Two
it?
little sisters.
How cute.
Yeah, yeah.
With like DMs via your account, which is pinned down below.
Mhm.
Okay, but
And then I have a Sailor Moon one, which is funny. We were talking
ah,
about it.
yes, classic, beautiful.
Yeah. And then my last one is I made this piece. So
Ooh,
it's Princess Jasmine, but black one with a lion.
yes. Here,
Africa, obviously. But
be-
yeah, it's just like a little bag.
oh, it's a bag. Oh, cool.
Nothing on the back, just
How long does it take you to do, like how you have the tote versus like the painting, or for instance, the acrylic one that you're mentioning earlier?
that is a great question. So the tote bag, I
The
like
process.
I yeah, the process. Like I was telling you earlier, like do research and it will help you.
Oh,
So I used to just go and try to paint on the tote bag. And it would take me like at least 2 to 3 days. Because the paint I would use would be super thin, so I had to do so many layers.
wow.
But once I actually like, YouTube search like how to create art on tote bags, this person was like, you gotta like put like a primer, like a gesso primer on top, and then you paint on it. And I'm like, that's so smart. So it like will take me maybe a day now. Yeah, like not like a whole day, but like maybe like 3 hours, depending on
Wow.
like how it dries.
Let me just acknowledge how significant that is, because you 3 hours, me 3 weeks.
3 days. Yes,
Just
yes.
apply for your experience in time.
My really sad experience.
Oh no, it has gotten you where you are today.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, well, it has been so fun to talk with you about art and your journey and like motivational quizzes. Hey, but you can find Kei again. I've got her Instagram handle pinned, so you can check out
You have
all
a
the
question.
work that she's done. She's got a lot going forward. Oh,
Okay, I forgot. I do have a giveaway for a notebook with my art on it. Oh, I do have a picture. So this was one of my favorite pieces.
oh, you put it on the notebook. That is so cool.
Yeah,
So
and then
beautiful.
the inside has some little anime inside, just some random characters I have, and then my
They,
little.
oh,
I do a series of Black Teen Titans.
hidden gems. They're just all in there. Wow. Just like you don't feel like writing notes, just look at the art. You don't even.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, the giveaway is just on my page. You just have to follow the rules, and then I'm supposed to give it away on Saturday.
Oh,
So coming up, I guess. Thank you for having me. This was such a great idea.
ah,
Um,
it's been so fun.
yeah, it has been really fun. Which I have to like commend you. Like we were talking about this earlier, but like I'm more of an in person kind of person. So today I was gonna be like, you want to just meet at your house or like at a Starbucks and do this?
Oh,
Yeah, but it was actually good practice to do it over the video. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate giving me the kind of the spotlight and supporting me. Like you have been like a legit. I don't want to call you a fangirl, but you've been like a legit person. You have like a little mini collection from me, and it's kind of cool. Yeah, yeah, and I would have to say you're like one of the only people that always get back to me, be like, you see your art on the wall, and I'm like, oh my gosh, my art's on the wall.
it's so pretty.
So it's really cool to see it actually up, or where people are using it or where they're putting it, because like after a piece, I might never see it again, but it's nice to be reminded that someone bought that and really thought that they liked my art to have it in their house or have it for themselves, and they put it up. So it's always kind of like an accomplished feeling kind of thing.
Yay. Well, I'm happy to be a part of your journey. I'm glad I could put it like, immortalize it on my page and having
Yeah,
one of them. It was so fun doing the piece that we did the other day. That was really cool. It's been
yeah,
exploring the techie. I'm glad I could help you be more uncomfortable with the tech aspect. We're just leveling up, 20
yeah,
here for it.
yeah.
It's been a pleasure, and thank you all for joining us this evening,
Mm-hmm.
bringing
Mm-hmm.
to life art and art in life. I hope we could do this again.
Yeah, it'll be fun. Maybe we can talk about all your cool stuff, and I just interview you.
Okay, yeah, that would be fun. We
That
all.
would be. I'll dress up or something, and I'll be like, look at my fashion. Like I don't know.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be so fun. Bye.
All right, bye.